Hi there, I'm Andy Hillier and today's guitar lesson is going to be It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere by Alan Jackson. This came as a request on one of my other videos, so if you've got any requests, put them in the comment section. I'll try and do a video for you. Also, just before I teach you it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, it really does help me out. Give me a like on the video, leave me some comments in the comment section as well. And if you love what I'm doing and you want to support me and you want to print the tabs off for this, I'll put it in my Patreon account. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. Before we play this, we just need to drop the E string down to a D. So we've got drop D tuning, so D, A, D, G, B, E. Right, we've got a lot to get through, we've got 2 pages of music. So the intro sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. So for that, we're going to start with the open D string, then A2, pulling off to the open A, and then the E string. Even though that's the D string, I'm going to still, well, it's a D, but I'm going to call it the E string or else I'll get confused. So you got, and that's starting on beat 3 and, so it goes 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to play a D4, you're going to slide into it really quickly, and then another D4, and then a slide from 2 to 4, so it goes, and then D2, open A, so go, and then open A into bar 3, hammer on to A2, and then play A5, and then you're going to play fret 4 on the D string. Try and leave the A5 on there when you play the D4, and then bend it up a semitone by pulling it down, and then it ends up ringing together. So the first line goes 1, 2, 3. On to the next line, a little, well, a quaver rest, and then open A string, just palm muted off, and then playing G6 and D7 at the same time, 3 times. On the third time, slide down 2 frets to 5 and 4. So you got, and then 2 more hits on that, and then slide down, but then you need to slide. So your first finger goes to fret 2, and your third finger on fret 4. Or you might prefer to use your first and third fingers. So you got, and then it plays A5 and D4 at the same time. So you got rest. Next bar, we play open D string, and then A4 bending up, then back to the D string. So you got, and then A2 pulling off to the open A, and then E2 bending up a semitone, actually a tone, and then it's going to play an open E in the next bar. So it goes. Okay, so the whole of the intro slowly goes 1, 2, 3. And up to speed. And that goes into the verse. Now the verse starts, we've already played the open E string, and then we're going to go to the D chord, which is your second finger E2, first finger G2, third finger on B3. Then to an A chord, which is just D2, G2 and B2 for a bar. Back to the D chord for a bar, A chord for the whole bar. But I've put a little lead line in there that goes, which is open A, hammering onto A2, D, A, and then into the next bar, D, which is then playing a D chord as well. Then we've got an A chord for a bar, and then B minor for a bar, which is your first finger A2, second finger on B3, third finger D4, little finger on G4, and then we've got 2 beats on an A, 2 beats on a D. So let me play that line for you. The rhythm on most of it will go down, down, up, down. So that's a nice little rhythm. So when you play like the D chord, it goes down, down, up, down. So that will work through there. So we played the open E. Let me play the line for you. It goes. So for the last bar, down, down, up, down, down, up. So A, D, D, D. So that's the verse of the song. And then the bridge sounds like this. So for that we've got a G5 chord. First finger across E and the B strings on the 3rd fret. And then I've got a finger on E5 at the top. You could just play the bottom 4 strings if you struggle to get that E5, then it will still sound nice on a G5. Just if you want that bass note in there. And then you've got D for a bar, A for a bar, and then D, and then I'll put another one of the lines in that goes, which is A, hammering on to A3, D, A3, D, then back to that G5 for a bar, D for a bar, and then on an A chord it goes rest, so rest, down, 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 on the A chord. So let's play the bridge. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which takes us to the chorus, which sounds like this. So for that we've got a D chord for a bar, G for a bar, A for a bar, D for 2 bars, G5 for a bar, and then this little line that goes on the end plays A, D2 and G2, then A, D4 and G2, and slide into that, does that twice, so you got, and then just hit an A chord on the next bar as a little stab. Rhythm on that, down, down, up, up, down, works really nicely, so you got. And then that goes back to the intro, but starting on bar 2 goes. And then it goes back to the verse, bridge, chorus. Then after the second chorus, it just does a solo. Now the chords that go behind the solo are just D for a bar, G5 for a bar, A, and then D, G5, A, D. So let's just play the solo. Chords, 2, 3, 4. They're also the chords that happen right at the end of the song, the outro. Then the middle 8 sounds like this. Okay, so for the middle 8, you've got a B minor chord, and then you've got G5. It's an E minor chord, but because we haven't got the E string, I suppose we could play 2, 2, 2. But for that, I've just chose to play A2, D2, and play the open E, B, and G strings as well. Then to the A chord. Then we've got D chord for a bar, B minor, that G5. The E minor slash B, and then A again. So here we go. Same sort of rhythm for the middle 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. on those last two chords, just play the chords, don't play the rhythm on bars 44 and 45. And then the last verse, we've got, it's kind of like the last chorus. We've got D for a bar, G5 for a bar, A for a bar, D for a bar, D for another bar, G5 for a bar, A for a bar, and then there's a extra beat in this next bar. It's a bar of 5/4. It just goes rest, D, 2, 3, 4, and then it comes into the next line. So let's just try that line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes on to the next line, which are just playing the same G5, A, D for 2 bars, G5, and then A for 3 bars, and then one more hit on bar 62 on the A chord. So let's just try that, but from bar 54. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes just back to the same chords as the solo, which is kind of like this chorusy part. Let's just play that last M verse just so it makes sense. Here we go. From bar 46. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it just goes around the solo bit for the end of the song. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that little guitar lesson. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video, leave me some comments in the comment section as well. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know where in the world you're from. Any songs you want to learn, put them in there as well. And if you love what I'm doing and you want to support me, keep me doing these videos, I've got a Patreon account. I've said it as cheaply as possible. Go and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. I'll put the tabs for this on there so you can print them out as well. Thanks for watching this. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.